Hi, guys. It's Marlene, and I am the content creator for Marlene TV. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about the debt free journey, and this time, we're going to be talking about a conversation with Miss Full Roller Sarah, and she is already debt free. So we're hoping to get some gems from Miss Full Roller. Let me remove this and show my face. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for coming, whether in the live stream or in the replay. We appreciate you so much here on Marlene TV channel. I believe in prosperity for your finances and for your hair. So today we're going to be having a conversation with Miss Full Roller Sarah, who, like I said, is already debt free. And it's helping me this conversation because I am on that journey to be debt free. So I'm looking forward to this discussion, and I'm just going to invite her up and we're going to have a good conversation. So let's welcome Miss Full Roller Sarah to the broadcast. Hey,
Hi, Marlene. How are you?
good. So, first of all, I want you to let you talk about your channel and what you want to share, and then we'll go into our discussion.
Well, my name is Miss Florola Sarah, and on my channel, but the main purpose of my channel was to share and I guess you say pay forward uh, anything that put me back on the road towards, towards ourself and being our authentic self. The world kind of tells you who you're supposed to be. And as I got older, especially I didn't start my channel until I was 40. Yeah, a little after my 40s. I think that's right. No, 2 years after my 40s. So actually, I was 42 when I started my channel. So I don't know if it was midlife crisis, whatever. So I wanted to give back. It started out, I did mention as far as my debt free journey, I did mention that. As a matter of fact, I mentioned that in my very, very, very retro intro video, but also through natural hair because I was also had went back natural and then started my braid lock journey, which you still see. So you have seen my journey and where my hair was from the start to what you're looking at right now, and of course debt free. So yeah, just anything to maybe help somebody, give them that inspiration and to pay it forward because I received so much inspiration as far as, getting debt free, as far as going natural and locking my hair, gardening as well. So, yeah, I talk a little bit about everything.
Awesome. That's a great channel. So if you guys are interested in Miss Full Roller's content, head over to her channel. I'm going to have it linked in the description box of this video. So we're just going to start off the beginning, Miss Full Roller. Can you please explain to us how did you start off this? Like, what was the decision process when you decided you wanted to be debt free? Tell us a little bit about that.
Let's see. Well, um, as I kind of alluded to, as far as why I started my channel, um, just got tired, sick and tired, tired and sick, rinse, repeat of the basically just having to live to work, you know. That just really, really, really got on my nerves. And one time I was on vacation and had gotten down to my last $10. And the thing was is I thought I had a lot more, discretionary income left, or free income or whatever you want to call it left, because I was planning on going to buy something. And I sat down and did all my bills, and it was like, whew, I barely had enough to pay the bills. And I was like, and at that time, I enjoyed my job, enjoyed the people that I worked for. I say my boss was pretty much like a father figure to me. Um, but there was just this. There's got to be another way. There has to be another way.
Okay. So you decided you just wanted better for your life.
Yes, and I'm also very freedom oriented. I like being in charge of my time. Uh, Even though I am an only child, I did not grow up as far as a spoiled, be able to do whatever you wanted to do type environment. That it was just the opposite. And I wanted to be in charge of my time, how I spent my time.
Right.
So that was a huge driver of that.
Okay. So can you mind if I ask you a little bit about the background? Like when you were growing up, what was your family, your attitude towards money? Did you always feel like you were in charge and in control of the money and the finances?
Oh no. I'm old school. I'm in my 50s, 55. I don't mind telling my age because I'm proud of it. But back in our day, children were seen and not heard. So there was no, ooh, you think you're gonna wear your parents down to get, whatever it is and buy whatever clothes. No, that I did not grow up with that. Um, And also, my father had a major heart attack. And when I say major, he was on dead on the table
Ooh,
for a couple of minutes. So that, of course, that means there's going to be a number of months. I believe it was around 18 months before he was able to really go back to work. Um, the employers were a little bit, his employer was a little bit nervous about, having him come back. But like I said,
right,
major heart attack. Um, so that definitely was a something that was seared in my mind because of, because of that and the way that, my father kind of did things. It wasn't that bad of a it wasn't that bad of a thing to have to go through, as a child. And it was right. I was getting ready to start high school. It was the heart attack happened the day before I started high school. And my
right,
folks were, didn't buy and of course at that age, I had to buy my own school clothes, school clothes and school supplies with whatever little money, I had. So yeah, that I guess you say that shaped as far as my money ideas.
right. So you weren't one of those kids that were, I guess you could say, I don't like to use the word, but sometimes it kind of fits some kids that are entitled. So you weren't given lots of things and like having funds prepared for you for your
No,
future and things like that. So okay.
absolutely not. Like I had mentioned in our wonderful discussion um, on Monday. Shoot, wintertime, like hey, like right now, it's not super cold here, but you see, I'm wearing a sweater. I have on two
Mhm.
layers. Now, of course, it's a tank top under here. It's not quite that cold, but it's still cool in this house, a little bit too cool to wear short sleeves. You
Right.
know, you didn't do that at home. 10 o'clock, take a bath after 10 o'clock if you want to. Your behind gonna freeze. You'll do it one time. I guarantee you won't do it no
Oh,
more.
I see.
And you didn't go around talking about, oh, I'm cold.
Or I'm hot.
Yeah, oh, I'm hot. Because we didn't
Mhm.
have central air conditioning, No,
Right. Mhm.
Or I don't want that, as far as whatever was prepared. Well, you eat that or you gonna starve. It ain't no talking about you going to somebody gonna go out to McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever, pick you up something, or you think you gonna cook something else in the or even make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, because peanut butters used to be expensive.
Hi. Hmm.
So it was
Yeah.
like you eat that or you starve. You gonna be hungry to the next day.
Yeah. Next day.
Yeah.
So, you're saying because you grew up having to be independent, how did that shape you for how you reacted to money, um, as in your adulthood and up to now?
I will definitely admit, I did once I got. I shouldn't. No, not definitely not once I got out the house. Because we were barely. I was barely surviving. Um, Once I went in the military, that's when I really started, you know, earning some real money, and got married young to get out of the house.
Mhm.
Worst decision. One of the
Yeah.
worst decisions of my life. But didn't handle money well at all. Even though I absolutely knew better.
Hmm.
Because I do have to give my folks credit, even though there were issues as far as their parenting. But I do have to give, especially my father, credit. Um, he taught me how to fill out the 1040. The 1040A and the 1040EZ weren't even in existence. He taught me how to fill out taxes. Did start to talk to me about interest, how interest and credit and stuff works. So it's not that I didn't know,
Okay.
but yeah, I didn't handle it well. If I could go back knowing what I know now,
Hmm.
there wouldn't have been a debt free journey, because I wouldn't have got in debt in the first place.
Right. So, what is okay? So you're saying that you weren't raised with a silver spoon in your mouth. You weren't given certain things like some people. So, how do you even begin the journey? Like, because most of the time, that's the most difficult thing when it comes to becoming debt free. Is just even thinking that maybe that's something possible, because sometimes that can be a big hindrance. We feel that it's too overwhelming, all of this money. So, how did you start?
Um, I was that same way. I didn't think it was possible once I bought my house, because I had started the journey well after I bought my home,
Mhm.
um, and didn't think it was possible, you know. And I ran across. I was watching actually Susie Orman. I know a lot of people don't like her. I have some issues with her. But if you look at some of the old, I don't even know if they're still available, but some of her older shows, like from 2000, 2008, 9, you start looking at some of those shows, or even before,
Right.
she put out some good information. She was a catalyst. And I had just started using the Quicken software as my checkbook. And in that software at that time, there was a debt calculator. Now, maybe this is one of the good things about being nosy. I saw that over there. I was clicking. What's that? Click, click, click. What's that?
Yeah.
Um, and I saw it and was like, "Nah, that's some gimmick." It didn't happen immediately,
Okay.
and then, like I said, that particular incident, um, thinking that I was going to be able to, because I had already planned out my vacation. I was going to go get this. I was going to do this. I was going to do this, going to do that. Thank goodness I did that early, early in the vacation period. After doing my bills and seeing I ain't got but $10. Well, $10 ain't gonna take you too dang far. You ain't finna be doing too much. It was a staycation before staycation. That term staycation wasn't even, you know,
Before it
wasn't
became
even a
popular.
exactly. Yeah. That became a staycation. immediately. So that was definitely a catalyst. And I remembered that debt calculator.
Okay.
So hell, since I can't now, I see that I can't go nowhere on this vacation. I might as well see what this thing is about.
Right.
And I sat down and looked at it and understood how it worked. Figured out how it worked. Put all my numbers in there, and it came back that in, I think the period. I don't know if you. I'm trying to remember. Do you actually put a period in there, or does it just? I think when you if you just immediately put your numbers in there, it will tell you based on if nothing changes and you
Right.
keep making these same payments, you'll be out of debt. This,
Yeah.
and it gives you
Oh,
this
it
year.
gives you a timeline to tell you
Yes,
how long it's going to take.
yes, and it'll give you the
Okay.
year. It has amortization table. Gave you all of that, and you will see when you will be down to zero. Gives you the exact date and year.
Okay.
And I looked at that year. I was like, that's 8 years away.
Hmm.
I can
So,
do
question
this.
before you go any further: how did you feel when you saw that, like knowing that it was possible?
It was now I don't drink, I don't do drugs, never have.
Mhm.
But I felt like I had been shot up with something. I mean, I was absolutely elated because I saw with my own eyes that it was possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 8 years from, that date, and it was April. It was the third week of April. I
Wow.
remember this, it was third
Mhm.
week of April because I always took my vacation um, towards the before the end of the month because of my job, and I needed to be there at the end of the month and the first of the month. And of course, my birthday is on the first.
Okay.
So I took, it was the third week of April, and I was like, 8 years. Now, remember, I said I was, in my 40s. I was like, I can get out of debt before I turn 50.
Mm.
This possible? And I kept looking at it. Now at that time I didn't need the old lady glasses like I need now to see stuff. But you should have seen me. I was like, do I got a magnifying glass around here? Maybe I put the wrong number here. This can't be right. And I double checked the triple checked, walked away from it, let it sit for 2, 3 hours, came back. The number's still the same. Yeah, I put the right numbers in here. And yeah, it was like somebody I had shot up and put some up in the vein there.
Right.
I was super elated, like this is possible. And that's all I need. If I
Mhm.
see it's possible,
Yeah.
I'm off and running in.
Yeah, but I think that that's the issue most of the time, and the problem with most people is that when you go are going through this debt-free journey, not having the support. Did you go through anything like that? Not the lack of support.
I told my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he was the only one that I told because the environment that I grew up with, and, sad to say, my parents weren't that encouraging
Mhm.
of me. So no, I did not share it with them, but I did felt like I could share it with him.
Okay.
And he is older than I am. So and he's not going to mind that I say this. I was because we have talked about this. I was a bit disappointed because he really did not give me that much support and encouragement. As a matter of fact, he was like, "Why you want to pay them all that money?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
just make the minimum payment." But I'm like, whatever the payment that you have to make. But I'm like, it's going to take 30 years to do that, and I'm going to end up paying, you know, almost I think under the mortgage amortization table, I think I would have ended up paying almost $200,000 for a $42,000 house.
Wow.
I was no, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, for sure with him being, much older than I am, that he would be, that he would really support
Understand.
me at first. And yeah, I was a little down about it. I almost gave up, you know, and I went back to it, because I saved it,
Right.
Um, and I was like, you know what? I might not make it, but I'm gonna try. And I started. I didn't care who was, um, who didn't think that it was possible. Later on, I did share it with my mother and family, and didn't really get any support there either.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah. And I understand that, going through a debt-free journey, when you tell people what you're about to do, just I'm telling y'all, anybody who's trying to go through this and who sees this video, even on a replay, if you start, be careful who you tell. If you
Yes.
don't tell people who are already supportive of you, you're kind of just wasting your energy, because you got to have people who are like minded, well, not really like minded, but people who will support you in whatever you do. If people already are negative and they're not supportive in general, there's no way they're going to support you in that. So that kind of discouraged me when I was trying to say, and I was like excited, just like you. When I found out, I was like, "This is all I got to do," and
Hmm.
then I'm going, and they're like looking at me like a deer in headlights, like, "Okay." I
or you,
was like,
or
"But aren't you excited?" And they're like, It sounds nice." So it sounds nice. I'm like, "This can change." People don't understand that becoming debt free can change your life.
change your life.
I was
Absolutely.
like, and if that doesn't excite you, then what will? I was like, I have to be what is it called? Well, I like to say enslaved. I was like, I won't be enslaved to this debt. I can do whatever I want. Like, doesn't it? And I honestly think that it with awareness, you know, when people understand like the impact of it, sometimes especially how it looks, especially when it comes to people of our skin tone, you're not raised with that sort of awareness that you can actually, you can get rid of debt, you could save money, you can, things that we, most of the time we're not conditioned to even think that that's something that is possible for us, because most of the time it's just about paying a bill, having a roof over your head, and food to eat. And
Right.
we don't really go much beyond that point. But when you realize, it kind of opens up other things in your thinking. I don't know if that has happened to you as well.
Absolutely, it did. Because like I said, I paid off my debt free. My independence day was June 2nd, 2006.
Hmm.
That led further to really starting to take charge of my health, start and going natural, letting the perm go. I let the perm
Hmm.
go in 2000 and believe it was that November.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was that November. Yeah, it
Mhm.
was. It was that November. November 2006 is when I let the perm go. And
Wow.
then August 2008, I decided to lock my hair. So yes, it
Okay.
is. It's like a snowball.
Yeah.
A snowball effect.
Yeah, I honestly didn't think of it that the hair and the finances go together, but it is, because when you free one, you free the other. It's like freeing your mind, freeing your mind in a sort of way, like
Hmm.
allowing yourself to just like let go, and you just like, well, the chemicals is not going to allow me to be free, so I'm gonna have to let that go. Mhm. Yeah.
Yes.
So, after made a decision and you're going through your debt-free journey, what was some of the struggles that you had along the way with trying to become debt-free?
Ooh, let's see. Several, let's see, car repairs, major car repairs. some home stuff, home repairs.
Mhm.
Um, thought I was going to lose, actually might end up losing my job, not due to anything that I had done, but I had briefly mentioned this uh, in our talk on Monday about my boss was thinking about selling the company
Mm.
to another, to not the competitor, but to another, another person.
Right.
And usually, what happens with mergers, if anybody has been paying attention over the years, they very rarely keep both sets of employees,
Right.
and it's usually whoever is getting bought. Those employees are usually the ones that end up, losing their job.
Right.
So that kind of put a little bit of a halt, not a little bit, because I completely stopped paying any extra on the journey to build up my emergency fund just in case that did happen. Because as I mentioned, there was no, knocking on my mother's door because my father had passed by then. There was no knocking on the door saying, can I come live here until I get another job? That wasn't possible. And I didn't have any other family members that would do that.
Right.
I did have one, and that didn't work out when I got back from overseas. So I didn't feel like I had anybody to rely on. So yeah, that definitely put a stop to that until I got to the amount that I wanted to have, in the bank for that. Um, and then I restarted the debt free journey. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow. So you got into some where you didn't have any support, and you were kind of honestly on your own. So what encouraged you to keep going? Because I feel a lot of times that can stop us. You can start things very easily, but what helped you to keep going even after your roadblocks and challenges?
Um, I think for me, I think it's a lot of times too. It does have to do with maybe personality type. Even though I'm kind of shy and uh, have the imposter syndrome, but once somebody tells me I can't do something, um, and I've seen it with my own eyes that it is possible.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get sad about it. Yeah, I'll emotionally eat about it. Yeah, I might even take a break from it for a minute. But then
Mhm.
that'll kind of come back to me like, and then I don't know if it's that little devil on the side, like, don't let them
Yeah.
take you out like that. And I'll be like, I bet. Let's pick it up. Let's keep going. Let's
Yeah.
keep moving. So yeah, that
Wow.
really what it was.
That's awesome because I know for me too as well. I had some roadblocks along the way too in my journey, having my home. When I was like, okay, I was like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna be debt free, and then it's like, you need a new roof. And those of you who know, a
Roofs
roof
ain't shit.
ain't a few nickels.
Show lane is a whole lot of nickels. Woo.
I'm gonna have to pause because I it's not one of those things you can ignore when
Hmm.
you need a roof. If you want to actually have a home.
Yeah, the rest of your house. The house underneath.
Hey, Paula, welcome. Thank
Hey.
you so much. How are you doing?
Yes, yes. There can be a lot of, because you're gonna have major car repairs sometimes, and uh, oh,
Yeah.
ooh, I had even, oh my God. One time I had left my car at work. The type of job that I did sometimes meant having to use the company vehicle to, make deliveries or do whatever. And it was such that, I can't drive two vehicles. So I left
Right.
my car at work and, took the truck, to do the job and came back. Not only were all my tires gone, they had took my rims too. I,
What?
I can laugh about it now, but trust, I was
No, that's
not
not.
laughing
That's
then.
that's not funny. That's like what? I would probably went up and look, make sure, put on
I
my
did.
glasses, took
I
them off.
did. Now, oh, where my glasses? Because I do wear glasses. I told y'all I wear glasses.
Uh
I
huh.
can't. I don't wear them on screen. And it probably was these. I was like,
I was like, gone? They gone? Gone?
I went and got my your little
Yeah,
cloth.
yeah. Cleaned them.
That's my car. Uh, why does it look like it's sitting on the ground? Ain't no wheels
Um,
on it,
so they
baby.
took your
They took
tires
the
and your
tires
rims.
and the rims. Now, thank goodness I drive. I do try to look at. I do try. I'm not always that good at it. So please don't think that I am, because I'm not. Ask my husband, he'll tell you. He's been
Mhm.
a grounding force to me too, because he's even though we butt heads and I don't, you know, we don't always see eye to eye, but he's calm. He doesn't get riled up. I was a cussing and a fussing and
Yeah,
talking about some choice words.
yeah.
But thank goodness it was, and I think I had to say that to myself to keep me from really just completely, flying off the handle and losing it. I said, thank goodness it's a small car
Right.
with small tires. Because if it had been like an SUV,
Ooh, ooh.
trying to see a little, a little good in a very, very, very bad situation.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, so yeah, it's been a lot of stuff like that. Had to replace the roof on my the utility building, um, heater, um, the central heat. Um,
Great.
yeah, it was a lot of major expenses,
Yeah.
along the journey.
It's a lot. It's a lot that can get you discouraged. But give the audience some, like, give them some tools. What are some things that help you to get back on track after you got off of track? What helped you?
I am going to share this in. I did mention that in the very first blog post in a 9-part series that I did on my debt free journey. I shared a couple of resources that um, that helped. I'll go ahead and mention it then, but I will, put that in the video, because I think I'm just going to make it like a
Okay.
podcast or something. One book, and I would recommend this book, even though some of the information is kind of outdated and it might be directed a bit towards, say, the yuppie type folks. But
Hmm.
if you can get the basic message from the book, and it's called Your Money or Your Life by Joe Dominguez and Vicky. I forgot her last name, and I meant to pull that book out before I sat down and I forgot. Um, but you'll see it.
What is the
Yeah,
name of the book? Your
Your
money,
Money or Your Life.
your money or your life.
I was going to I had went to the bookstore. Um,
And it's by
Jo
Vicky Robin.
okay, I started to say Robin, and I said, I don't think that's right. Yes, Vicky Robin and Joe
Okay, I'm
Dominguez.
gonna share. You mind if I share it
Oh no,
on the screen?
please,
Okay,
please,
let me share it.
repetition. Um,
Let me see. Share this screen. Chrome tab. Uh, and share it. It says that it's only $6.
I'm surprised
Your
because that
money
one,
or your life, 9 steps to transforming your relationship with money and achieving financial independence.
yes, that book was very instrumental in my journey as far as the mindset,
Oh,
you
wow.
know, changing the mindset and really laying it out as far as um, just how we've been conditioned to, to live this way, where debt is a normal thing. Yes, I would recommend that book. There's a couple of others that really helped me. Um, Now, they might be a little bit too extreme for some folks. One is called Rancho Costanada. I cannot remember the author's name. Um,
Rancho?
Rancho
Uh-huh.
Costa, Costa. I think that's right. Nada, Nada. I think that's correct. That
Okay.
was another good one. Living with, and I should have put all of those right here.
Is it called The Dirt Cheap Desert Homeland?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I found that one again. Let me share it.
That one, I would recommend that one, not necessarily what he did, because he went real extreme. But if
Okay.
you read, he would have these conversations with the demented vet. I think that's right. To me, that is the gem of that book. It would be worth it, you
Okay.
know, to read that, and especially, oh God, especially when you see what's going on now, what has been going on, you will see almost how prophetic, because it was going on at the time he wrote the book. It's been going on, but you'll
Okay.
almost see how prophetic when you read. If you don't get anything else out of it, you can ignore, you know, because he tells you how he built his little dirt homestead and all of that out in the desert. You can almost ignore that part. Read the conversations with the demented vet. Read those conversations.
Okay. Okay. So,
Oh, those is
any
what kept me going.
so those are the books. Um any you have any other recommendations?
There's another one. It's living. Oh gosh, I can see the book cover and I can't remember the title. Living, living with very little, or living with little or nothing. I will definitely make sure, because these other two books I did not include in those blog posts, and I was thinking of doing that when I
I don't think
turned
it's
those
living
into
with very
video.
you said it's living with very little, and what else did you
I
say?
I think that's it. I'm not exactly sure if that is the correct title. Oh gosh, what is the name of that book?
Yeah.
Oh, but another one that I do definitely talk about is by Mary Hunt, Debt Free Living.
Okay.
I definitely used some of her.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's by Mary Hunt, and I did use some of Dave Ramsey.
I all I see is by Terrence Thornton,
Yeah, it might. I'm
and
surprised
I
because
see another one, Debt Free Living by Larry Burkett. I
type
don't
in Mary Hunt and see what you. There it is. That's it. Go down.
go down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know that hair.
Oh,
That's her.
there it is. Debt Free Living.
Yeah,
Okay.
debt proof living. I'm sorry, debt
Oh,
proof living.
Debt
That's it.
Proof Living.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
There it is, guys.
Yes.
Oh, and Paula said something. She said she wants to go back to the days of Tight and Progress. I was 18 years old. I could say better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you have the knowledge and you want to do better, but sometimes when you're just starting out, you can't do what you want because you just don't have the means. But it's good to at least have the knowledge and then not put yourself in situations because that's some of the things that I did. Like I knew better, but I
Hmm.
kept digging myself deeper into a hole because I
Hmm.
said, you know, I it for me, it was like, okay, you got $30,000 of debt. oh, what's the point? Who cares if it's 40, it's 50, it's 60? But
Hmm.
you gotta, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I know. Exactly. I was same here.
Yeah,
Like,
dig, keep on digging.
or like Dave Ramsey said, paid a whole lot of stupid tax. Now I'm not that big of a Dave Ramsey fan, but some of the stuff I do like as far as
Yeah,
him. And yeah, the stupid tax part. Oh
yeah.
yeah, honey.
Some of it, I think is right on point. Some
Hmm.
things is a little extreme
Right.
because I'm more of, I don't even know what I can call myself because I'm in the middle. I like the credit card lifestyle, but I also like cash stuffing.
Yeah,
So I'm like a blend of both of them.
I did the same thing. My approach was totally blended. I blended. I took from each one of those what made
Mhm.
sense to me and what worked for me, and threw out what didn't. And yeah, I still, even though I've been debt free for 15 and a half years, I still use my credit card. I just don't carry a balance. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. The,
I don't carry a
Paula has a
balance.
good statement that she put here. She says, one thing is true. Why would a person have all that money in savings and have all that bad debt?
Mainly because we have been taught that debt is a good thing.
Mhm.
You know, now, of course, as things have changed and being exposed for what has always been there,
Right.
um, now that that veil is dropping, people are seeing that that never was a good,
Yeah.
was never a good thing. And, now, of course, credit card debt has been way more vilified than it used to be, back in the day. But yeah, you were encouraged to carry, a lot of debt.
Yeah. You were encouraged
Hmm.
because they were like, well, you're probably not going to live. Because I remember my parents saying that, oh, you're not going to live long enough to pay it off anyway. So leave it for your kids. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, good job, mom.
And
Let
actually,
them deal with it.
mortgage, the term mortgage actually means death pledge.
Oh.
That's exactly what it means.
Hmm.
Death pledge. Because most people did not live to pay it off.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yes, that's what it means.
Hmm. Wow. So, I wanted to ask you, so you said you've been debt free for 13 years now?
15 and a half.
15, 15 and a half. Yeah, let's get it
Yeah,
right.
put my half on it.
Give me my half. So, what is something that maybe, because you were saying you used, what was the one that you said you used when you were snooping around and looking? Um,
It's a debt calculator.
okay,
Yeah, it's basically a debt calculator. Now, of course, the term that's used, it's under several terms. Back when I was, doing my debt-free journey, it was only known as the debt snowball. I
okay,
think now it is also called the debt avalanche. It's
yeah,
basically amortization, a digital amortization table.
right.
Is basically what it is.
Awesome. That's awesome because guys, now it's not like years ago where you had to have software downloaded on your computer and all of that. Now you can the technology has improved so that we can have apps on our phone.
Yes. There's on various free online debt, those debt calculators. Yeah, they're a whole lot more prevalent now than when I started my journey.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so awesome because I know that there were back in the day. Okay, I should say it this way. Sometimes we kind of get wrapped up because something is $3 a month, $5 a month. But I had to start getting into the thinking if that paying that three or that $5 a month is gonna get you to your end goal, we have to learn to invest something in ourselves too, you know? we'll go and spend 20, $30 on fast food, but $2 or $3 when it comes to us, no, no, that's too much.
Mhm.
That's what I had to learn. If I have to be honest, that's what I was doing. I was saying, oh, $3 to $5 a month. Oh no, I can't do that. But
Mhm.
I could spend $20 on takeout. Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. I was basically the same way, and even at the beginning of my debt-free journey, because I had knew about, I had purchased, and hey, get the books at the library first. That's what, if you have to, keep checking them out. If you don't necessarily want to buy it, but you will want to, probably get your own copy. But yeah, get it from the library first. That's what I did.
Yeah, and
Uh,
decide if you really want to buy, because
mm,
sometimes you'll buy it and you'll be like, oh, that's not really what
yep.
I
I would
wanted.
definitely recommend, see if your library has it. See if your library has an intra-library loan where maybe another library in your county has it, and read it from the library first.
Yeah.
Then you can determine, well, this might work for me, this might not. Yep, because that's exactly what I did. And you know, same thing, like you were saying. Because at that time, Mary Hunt had went to subscription to get her. It was the cheapskate. Was it the cheapskate? I'm trying to remember the title of her newsletter. It was free, and then a little bit after that, um, she went to subscription, and I was the same way because at the time it was but like $1.99. I was
Oh,
like, I ain't
come
paying no $1.99.
on.
And then once I really started looking and seeing that this is possible, of course, had checked fortunately, my library had a copy of the book, and I
Oh,
was reading it, and then I went and got my own copy, and then afterwards, I said, "Shoot, let me pay my $1.99," and I got the subscription. But like you said, but shoot, honey, we'll blow $1.99 real quick. $1.99 times 10. At getting some fast food or getting pizza. Love pizza.
right.
Okay.
I think it's something that is important to also say that it's about prioritizing things. And in the debt free journey, that's what I have learned personally. I can't speak for other people, but I've learned to understand what's important to me and what I'm
Mhm.
trying to do. And
Exactly.
a lot of times we put our importance where we don't need to. We're worrying about, $30 to $40 to do something that's going to help us, in 1 year. An app that I downloaded, I paid $50 for it. And some people are like, $50, pay $50. But using that app helped me to pay off my debt in 90 days, one of my debts. And if it wasn't for that, pay $50, and I that helped me. So you got to find some things that works for you, and sometimes we got to understand that we got to put something back into ourself to make our life better.
Exactly. And also changing this notion, because I heard this a lot too. Well, I might be dead in 8 years. I might be dead in 5 years, which is absolutely true.
Hmm.
But there's a 50% chance that you probably will still be here.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you want to take that time to get there? And then if you are still here, just how much better off, you know,
Exactly.
you are.
And I also think, because I've shared with you on your stream when you did yours, I think it's important, especially as people of our race, to spread awareness that, okay, maybe you will pass away, maybe you won't be around, but you are teaching generational wealth. And I think that that's something that a lot of us don't understand, is if one person in the family takes a step to improve their life, you're automatically going to improve the lives of other people who come behind you,
Mhm.
because you can inspire them, you can encourage them. And if it's somebody like your child or somebody who's actually going to benefit from your wise decisions, you are changing their entire life.
Knife. Exactly. Exactly. And they have a
Hmm.
living example, living, breathing example right there in front of them. And kids watch what you do.
Hmm.
They absolutely watch what you do. And a lot of us are like me. I learn from watching other people.
Yeah.
And I seek out when I'm, wanting to do stuff like this, I would rather seek out somebody that I know,
Yeah.
or that I can, that I can relate to, that's close to me
Right.
versus, you know,
Yeah.
versus say, even though of course, the Susie Ormans, the Dave Ramseys, Mary Hunt,
Hmm.
all of these people were around then, but it would have been awesome if I'd have had someone, you know, and especially of, you know,
Yeah.
of my same hue.
Yeah. It hits different. It hits
Yes.
different when you see somebody like, I don't really get into the, race, the race card and all of that. But it does make you feel differently when you see someone that looks like you
Mm-hmm.
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like, just to let you know that it's possible.
Possible.
Just seeing, like, having a living breathing example that it's possible. And sometimes we don't get that kind of representation. We don't get
Right.
that kind of representation. And I'm not trying to be like, down on, and saying it's this, that. No, sometimes we just don't get those kind of opportunities, because most of the time we don't get that type of awareness that it's possible for us to have nice things, for us to live a more quality life, for us to, have money in savings, and to have a portfolio, and have a retirement, and enjoy vacation, like actually live,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And coming from, having older parents, I can say that my mother always said to me, I'm never going to get to live to be able to have the life that I wanted, but I wanted it to be better for you. So
Yeah.
for me, it started with my mother.
Okay.
My mother made it possible for me, so she wasn't able to be, like, have the freedom from the debt. She wasn't able to have certain things, but she paid off the house just before she passed. So
Okay.
she, and then left it to me. So I was like, Whew, thank you, mama.
Mm.
Thank you, mama.
Yeah. Oh, see, that is, oh,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
so huge. If because housing is your biggest expense.
Yeah.
So to have left you a paid
Mhm.
for
A paid for
house,
home. Yeah.
wow.
Not in good condition,
It's
but
still, but hey, it's
but
still,
I'm but what I'm saying is that she tried.
yeah.
And I think that that's something important for us to be able to even say that. You
Mm-hmm.
may not be able to do a lot for your family. Maybe you have little means, but it's not about how much you make, but it's what you
Do with it, with what you
do with
make.
what you have. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was a person, my mom never made a lot of money. Think about it this way. When my mom started working when I was 5 years old, and I'll just say out in 1985, my mother was making $3.75 an
Mm-hmm.
hour.
Mm-hmm.
And with $3.75 an hour, my mother bought a home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think about that. Like, okay, if my mother could do that, having this little amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
and when she retired from that job, she was making $10 an hour. That's all. My mom kept the same job all those
Mm-hmm.
years,
Mm-hmm.
25 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about it, the most she made was $10,
Mm-hmm.
and she was able to buy a home.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me start thinking, then what is possible for me
Mm-hmm.
because I make more?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Right.
trying to say?
Oh, I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes you have a different thinking when, like, I saw that because I remember looking at my mom's pay stub, and I used to think, as a kid, that's a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
But
it was back
yeah,
then.
I was like, that's a lot. I was like, you got, but I didn't think like you got bills, you have this, you have that. And my mother always put something, she used to always tell me as a child, I remember this, pay yourself first. She
Hmm.
used to always tell me that. And that's in my mind. She says, it ain't got nothing to do with my dad, your daddy. He said, I pay me first. And I didn't follow it, of course not, because as children, we don't we don't listen. We just say, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, mama.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go
Hmm.
out and buy myself these sneakers, this dress, whatever, this pocketbook. But when I got to be older, now I'm thinking, yeah, mama did say pay yourself first, didn't she?
Hmm.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's getting
Yeah.
back to the original plan.
Yes. Yes. But
Mhm.
yeah, that I think that is probably one of the best things that I would like to encourage and pass along. And fortunately, a lot of the young folks are seeing it. They are seeing through, you know,
Yeah,
through this you know, being in debt for the rest of your life. They're not having it. And I'm
yeah. I'm
you
proud
know,
of them.
I'm absolutely
Mhm.
proud of them. Cause
Yeah.
yeah, it's I like to term it as the Otis effect. Um,
Mhm.
and the reason I call it the Otis effect, do you remember Otis from? I think that I'm hoping I got his name right. The uh, the drunk in uh, the Andy
Oh,
Griffith.
yes. Uh-huh. The one that was always in prison, in
It
jail.
but yeah, but remember what he did? He would come in, grab the key off the wall, open the cell door, close the cell door, and hang the key right up outside. That's basically what we've been taught to do.
Right.
So when you hear me say the
We put
Otis
our own
effect,
selves in a prison.
yeah. So when you hear me say, if you ever hear me say the Otis effect, that's exactly what I'm referring to.
Okay.
And the young people are seeing through that.
Yeah. I can say I have a 25-year-old nephew, and he already has told me if he does everything he's supposed to, he's going to be debt free in the next 10 years. So 35. I was like, 35. I
Oh,
was like,
boy.
oh my goodness. I was like, so it makes me feel good because my mother did it. And then now I'm about to do it. And he's right behind me. And I'm like, oh, we doing it. I
Awesome.
was like, we doing it. It makes me feel, I was like, I said, I told my sister, I was like, hey, you ain't getting credit for this one. I said, your auntie got
Say, auntie, this
this.
auntie's.
Auntie
Mhm.
got this.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm dancing with you.
Yeah, I was like 35.
Ooh.
I said, boy, you gonna be young and
Mm,
mm, I
dang.
love that.
I do too. Absolutely. But
Yeah,
yes,
so
it
I just so
can
hope
be
it
done.
just keeps getting better and better for more people, like younger people getting more awareness and knowing that you don't have to make yourself stay indebted. You got to make some good choices.
Yeah. And it, like I say, if you do happen to pay a lot of stupid tax,
Hmm.
um, that you have to be willing to do it. It's a lonely journey. Um,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to change really the way you do almost everything. Um, especially if you're
everything.
not willing to get a second job
Yeah.
in order to get out of debt. That
Hmm.
was my situation. I was like, we not doing
Yeah,
two
and
jobs.
sometimes some people can't, especially a person
Right,
who's like a single parent.
right.
They can't.
Hmm.
They're the only one. Like, I'm gonna have to do this. It's gonna take me maybe a little longer, but
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this.
Yep, you can do it. Yes,
Yeah,
because
you
shoot, I
can.
was like, I don't want to do this one job. So why the hell I want to go get a second one? Okay.
I listen. See, myself personally, I was like, let me go on and do this because I was like, I don't think I got 10 more years left in me. On working for people, I was like, so let me make it easier for myself when my bones start to ache. I'd be like, no, I can't. No. I was like, no, we're not going to do that.
S- it was the same for me. That was the other motivating factor because, like I said, I was what 30. Let's see, I was 34 when I bought the house, so that means it was 36, around 36 ish when I um, started my debt free journey.
Awesome.
I mean, really, really start hitting it like a mad woman. I
Yeah.
did kind of start it, a little bit earlier than that. It was about a year after I bought the house, but I really started hitting it like a mad person once I, uh,
Ooh,
you know, about 36 is when I really start hitting it. And see, my attitude started changing as well,
wow.
where the type of patience I used to have for dealing with the public was it was pretty long. I don't know what happened. So a fire got lit to that string
What
or
had happened
something.
was, that's
Uh,
my saying. I love
whoo,
what had happened.
what had happened was,
Uh,
yeah, some stuff started. Well, the environment at work started changing. Um, Dealing with more with the public and
mhm.
their attitudes, and I was like, it wasn't necessarily a physical thing why I was wanting to speed the process up. It was like my attitude. I might, I'm gonna be the cuss somebody out.
Listen, listen. I feel like the older you get, is your patience gets less and less. Like your tolerance for foolishness, very. mm. Especially when when someone's trying to blow some smoke, be like,
Yes,
yeah,
the BS meter gets pinged out real quick.
I said, no. When you're younger, you'd be like, you let things go. But the older that you get, listen, you
As,
know,
and so it started for me in the late 30s. Yep, the
yeah,
late 30s. It was like,
it's,
no, I don't think I can wait till 50. We got to accelerate this.
I
And
know. Listen, that's what I said. Listen, if I already got an attitude at this age,
yeah,
I said it's gonna get worse. I said it's gonna get worse.
and it go to the book get worse because it get worse every day. That's the right. It was getting worse every
Because sometimes I had
day.
to catch myself on the job. Like, what did you say? I was like, and I have to tell myself, Marlene, be quiet. You need this
Oh,
job. You
girl.
need this job. I was like, ooh, one time I had to hold my own lips, literally. I was like, mm,
Y'all,
mm,
let me tell this story for inspiration to folks. I'm glad you brought that up because I had totally forgot about that. I had gotten into an argument with one of my coworkers. Now, by
mm.
this time, I was um, considered management. Working
Hold on
as
one second. I see somebody came in the chat. Hi, Susie Wallace. Welcome.
Pandy came in earlier. Hey,
Yeah,
Pandy.
Candy came in and Paul is here. I don't know who else, but welcome everybody. Okay.
Um, I had gotten into it with one of the other members of management. Child, y'all, they had pissed me off so bad. I had to hold my lips because I was about to say something that I said, if I let me hold this, because if I say something, I might say something that I can't take back. I had actually got in my car. I had grabbed my purse and grabbed my purse, grabbed a few of my other things, and had gotten in the car and drove off with the intentions of, that what is that? Is it Johnny Paycheck, Paula? Is it Johnny Paycheck that made that song? And I got about 3 blocks down the road, and I remember, hold up. Because you know, I had just started the debt free journey. So that means I didn't really have that much in savings. None.
You
So
came back. You came
I
back.
turned around. I never did tell my boss that. So if he happened to find this video, you go remember that time I left for you?
Mm-hmm.
I was almost gone for good. And then I remember, shoot, you ain't got nobody that you can call. You ain't got nobody that you can go to. I need this job. So I turned around and went back. And that was the day I hit it. I put the pedal to the metal.
Mm-hmm.
I started cutting back, stopped eating out.
Mm-hmm.
I was bowling at the time. I had stopped bowling. I think I might have been still it might have been kind of toward the end of the season because if I remember right, the I don't remember having to wearing a sweater or anything. So I think the weather was still nice. So it must have been maybe moving into, say spring, almost moving into summer, which meant the bowling season would have been over. I finished the season. I told my teammates I will not be back. It's like ain't nothing
Okay.
against y'all, but I got a
Like, gotta
mission.
handle some
I
business.
gotta have some business. I cut out everything extra,
Uh-huh.
anything, any and everything
Mm-hmm.
extra. Because, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, second job was not on the table.
Right.
It just wasn't an option. So I cut out everything, any and everything. Start
Mm-hmm.
looking how I could cut back on my utilities and all that kind of stuff to find any little extra money.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the day I put the pedal to the metal. Oh, another resource. I don't know if he's still on because I would happen to be listening to him
Okay.
on the radio at work. Clark, I think it's Clark Henry. He's a um kind of like a cheapskate, cheapskate guy, but that's a lot of what he talks about as far as, you know, getting control of your finances, getting debt free.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah, I don't know if he's still on the radio
Okay.
or not. Um but yeah, that was another resource that I used. And I think he's a kind of like a consumer advocate as well. Yeah, Clark. What is his last name? God, I am drawing a blank. I'll try to remember to put that as in the resources as well. But yeah, there's a lot of good resources out there, and there's plenty more um, out there now.
Sorry, I just had a coughing spell.
Oh, no problem. It sounds like you got sinus or something,
Yeah, it's
mucus.
allergies.
Yeah,
See, I'm
going
trying
in.
to buck not taking my allergy pill today, and it's not winning. Yeah, I'm gonna need to take the allergy pill.
Yeah, you're gonna need to. That way, that at least you'll feel better.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience that helped you?
Basically getting control. Like I said, I will be going into that as I figure out what I need to do to turn, those blog posts into videos. I guess you basically like audio part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But another thing was getting, like I said, getting control of especially if you do not want to go the second job route, getting control of your outlays, what you're spending money on. Look at, because some of the stuff, we're like, oh, that's only $2. Oh, that's only $5 a month. Oh, that's only, but do you really need it? And especially when you're trying to find extra money to put towards debt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one of the other things
Yeah.
that helped a lot, getting control of that, looking to see, like at the time, it was popular, because cell phones were really, kind of starting to take hold, but people had landlines and cell phones, and it's like, is it really, some people do need to have both, but not everybody did. So
Right.
you could take, decide which one you want to keep and take that money that you were spending, to put towards debt. What things that you're buying at the store, groceries, that's another huge bill. We got to eat.
Right.
So, is what you're buying, if you're buying something all the time and you're using it up, can you buy it in bulk? And see, that's another thing. And especially, and I know sometimes you might not necessarily have the money, but if you start freeing stuff up, you will end up having that extra money so that you can get, because if it's something that you're using all the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up spending less if you're buying it in bulk
Mm-hmm.
because the price per unit is cheaper than when you're buying the
Right.
single packages. And people looking at, well, yeah, I'm still spending the same amount of money. Actually, no. I mean, would you rather? And I use this example in one of my posts. Ice cream at the time when I was eating ice cream, when I could eat ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, of course, used to just buy the little half a gallon. And, the half a gallon was at that time, I want to say $2 or $2.50, something like that. And the
Mm-hmm.
gallon, actually not gallon, 5 quarts
Mm-hmm.
was like, I want to say $4.
Okay.
Well, most people gonna look at, oh shoot, I'm just gonna pay the 250. But if you eating ice cream, and especially the way I was eating ice cream, okay,
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you're going to end up paying more if you just kept buying that, the $2.50 one versus
Buying the big
getting the quart. And over time, you would have spent $20 for, I'm just going to use an even number just to make it easy. You
one. Mm-hmm.
spent $20 for 10 gallons. I'm just going to, just use that. Would you rather spend $20 for 10 gallons or $20 for 18 gallons or 20 gallons?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which one are you paying
Mm-hmm.
less? And a lot of times we don't pay that much attention. That's money you just given to them, which
Right.
could have been used, to pay your debt.
Exactly.
And once you're done with the debt, you do what you want with it. Whether you want to put it in savings, whether you want to put it here, put it there,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. And what helped me a lot for grocery shopping is, for me personally, it don't work for everybody, but for me, when I go to the grocery store, I already have written down exactly what I'm going to buy, and I only go in with cash. For me, that works best for me because I was finding when I would go into the grocery store and that little thing, that little debit card,
Yeah.
you're going to keep spend like, oh, look at, and then don't go to the store hungry either. Another lesson. And I just go in there and, oh, those chips, that look good. Oh, this, get some ice cream too, because you're hungry.
Hmm.
So that was a lesson for me. Eat before I go to the grocery store, stick to the list, and use cash. That
Okay.
saved me so much money. If you don't have a credit card to use and you only got a certain amount of cash in your hand, what you gonna do? You got to stick to the plan.
That's very true. That's very true. And an
Mhm.
excellent, excellent tip. Now for me, I actually used my credit card, but see, I made it a game. Once I got once I understood how credit works and how it is beneficial for them for them to, that's why they keep telling you, this good debt, and all this, that, and other, because it's beneficial for them to keep you in debt.
Yes.
Once I found out the game, first I got mad. I was mad as I was like, what? Then I made it a game, you know. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make you think that you finna get some interest of it. You ain't getting nothing. And even though I was using the credit card, now I have to admit, now I'm a little looser with my money. Um, until it's time to come back and pay that bill. Then I'll be like, next, the next month, then I tighten it up. 'Cause I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I didn't overspend because I had gotten started and seeing, because the goal was to get extra money to um, pay off the smallest debt.
Mm-hmm.
And the smallest, I didn't necessarily do it that, and this is definitely a good tip, uh, to find a debt that that's the easiest to go ahead and get paid off,
Exactly.
because is part of the snowball. And if you
Yep.
can do that, it's an incremental step. And if you can get yourself motivated to find money to go towards that, to get that debt paid off,
Yep.
once you get that debt paid off, that's going to give you some,
It's going to
oh,
make you feel, it's going to encourage you to keep going.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And then, because see, now, um, you'll take that and apply it to the next debt. And see, as you keep going, that's what I say, make a game out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Make a game out of it, and it's especially helpful. This is definitely a good tip if you're, competitive and you don't like to let folks, you want to win.
Competitive. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, I am too, especially when it comes to sports or something like this. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, I'm winning this one. So yes, do there's just money that you end up leaking out. Another tip, which I will, again cover, because repetition, it's all right if you hear it again,
Right.
because you weren't hearing it before, because otherwise if you was hearing it before, you've been doing it. you know.
Exactly.
So you'll hear this again. Another one, your bills that you don't pay monthly, set those up as if you are going to pay them monthly. And even bills that you don't necessarily have as bills, but they are bills once something happens,
Right.
i.e. car repairs.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge one. If you set up maybe a separate savings account
Mm-hmm.
and deposit, your property taxes is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Divide that into 12. If it's your car repairs, look at your last, receipts over the last few years. What have you been paying on, you know, repairs? If you've been lucky, your car is, a pretty good one.
Right.
Come up with an amount, you know, say $50 or
Mm-hmm.
$40, and act as if you were sending it off to Visa,
Right.
sending it off to American Express. Put that in your account, your savings account, a separate savings account. Make this separate from your other savings,
Right.
your emergency, your other big emergency fund. This is a separate fund.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in there. And like your property taxes, you got to pay that, especially if you're in a state where you only have to pay it once a year. Some states you have to pay it every 3 months. This state that I live in, you only pay it once a year.
Mm-hmm.
You take your tax bill from the last year, if you're in one of those type states, or even if it's 3 months, divide it up, put that
Right.
money into that account as if you would get ready to send them, you were sending them that
Send
bill
them their
every month.
money. Mm-hmm.
That way, when it's time to pay it, boom, you already got it.
Right.
Because we don't, people don't do that. And then they're not really aware of how much it costs for them to live. And then once that bill is due, where does it end up going? On the credit card.
Credit card.
And you're paying interest on that.
Yep.
So it's little, little things like that, add up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also contribute to why, we end up in debt.
Yeah. Well, what I did with my property tax, I took the amount of my last year's property tax and divided it by 365, and that's when I found out how much that I need to at least have every day.
Yeah.
So they said, okay. I was like, okay, it
Hmm.
cost me $2 to live in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you come in terms of that, instead of me going and spending $30 on drive through, I was like, I think we're gonna go with having a place to live. I think we're going to
Right.
skip that. When you start putting it in terms that you can understand, that's what helps
Right.
me.
Yes, exactly. When you put it in terms that you can understand, break it down monthly and put it on paper, put it on your spreadsheet, something where your eyeballs is on it and not
Mhm.
this figure that you think up in your head, because most of the time what's up in your head and what's actually the reality, very seldom they meet. you know
Exactly.
yes.
Yes. The fly Bohemian was saying, no, this is Susie Wallace says that don't go down all the aisles in the
Right.
grocery store.
That's
Better
another
not.
excellent tip.
That
Excellent
that
tip.
that chip aisle and that candy aisle, don't. And I people have seen me in the grocery store. I will be having an argument with myself in the store. Don't go down there. And I said,
Hmm.
I want to, but you know what's gonna happen. I was like, but I want it. And they'd be like, but what about when your car breaks down? What about the oil change? And they'll be like, okay, moving on. Turn
Yep.
my buggy right back there. You gotta
Exactly.
talk yourself. For me personally, I feel like I have to talk myself out of things because once you make a bad decision, you can't recant. I like to talk myself out of things before I get myself into the problem. So
Yeah.
there I go having my conversation with myself, like, don't do it.
Ain't nothing
Don't
wrong with talking to
do it.
yourself. You can answer too, honey. I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you going down the but I want it. No, you don't. You don't need it.
Hmm. Hmm. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to set that. I think that's getting it on, whether it's on paper or on a spreadsheet or within the
Mhm.
software, somewhere where you can actually put your eyeballs on it and see it. And then, like you said, keep talking to yourself. Yeah, it's a everyday thing. But I
Mhm.
would definitely want to offer the encouragement if you slip, because yeah, I slip several times. Okay, I ain't
Mhm.
finna lie. I slip several times. And get back, put them eyeballs on them figures. And like, let's get it back together. Let's get back on. Let's get back up on the horse, keep riding. You know.
Yeah. That's the problem, Miss Full Roller. Most of the time, when you kind of get off track and sidetrack, sometimes that little like that doubt and all that stuff. I knew you couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm. And you got to deal with your bruised ego sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell my own self sometimes, would you just shut up? Because that's not true. Just
Mm-hmm.
shut up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You do. You have to tell yourself sometimes that sometimes the things that you thought is not true.
Yeah.
Like, just be quiet. That's not true. You're going to do it. And
Yep.
you got to encourage yourself that you can get through it and you can be debt free. You got to tell yourself that.
Mm-hmm.
You have
Yeah.
to.
And that's why I too would recommend, because most of the debt snowballs will tell you, debt avalanche, they will tell you to start with the highest interest loan. And
Mhm.
sometimes that's usually your biggest one. And a lot of times people will just stop from there.
Yes.
So, and I think it was in Mary Hunt's book. I believe she may have recommended to start with a smaller one. I know I'm pretty sure I got it from somewhere, or I may have just determined that on my own. But I kind of mixed it up. I um I did one. I think the payment was like $100, but it
Okay.
wasn't one of the highest interest ones. But it was the balance was small enough where I could, like I said, when I cut out eating out, could cut out everything. So I even took it so far as to, because I used to be a lead foot, baby. 55 miles an hour. I ain't care. You ride my tail if you want to. There's the left lane.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cause the faster you
Exactly.
go, the more gas you're using. Cut back on
Exactly.
the AC, even in the car and stuff too. And and I live in the southeast, so but so that shows you how serious I was about getting debt free. But
Exactly.
all that kind of stuff added up to, outflows that was going out before. Okay, now I got money to, to go here and there. And then,
Mm-hmm.
got that, get that win. Find, I would say do that. Whatever. It doesn't matter the interest. Just find a debt that's got the easiest, whether it's the lowest balance or whatever, that you can go ahead and pay off. So you can get it started,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
that can give you like a what is it called?
Yes.
Like a shot in the arm.
Yes, adrenaline. It really is an
Mm-hmm.
adrenaline rush
So you be
once
like,
you,
ooh.
because number one, it sets the seed in your mind. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
can pay off a debt. It might be just one,
Yeah,
but it's still you're paying it off because it's basically the attitude is you can't even pay off debt. You're gonna always be in debt.
exactly.
So if you get that one started, no matter what you got to do, pick whichever one. It really doesn't matter
Yeah.
because the key is to the most important thing is that you get started.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which one you start with. I
Mhm.
told you personally that that's what I had to do. I got rid of the one that was irritating me
Mhm.
because I told you about this already, but I was sleeping and they woke me up because I
Mhm.
was 1 day late with my payment, and I was like, oh, I said, oh, you're first.
Mhm.
Oh,
It was the same.
definitely. Oh,
It was the same
definitely.
for me.
I said, I'm getting rid of you first. I was like, calling me for a 1 day late payment.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. I said,
It was
you
a Capital
got
One
to
credit
go.
card for me.
I said, you got to go. Mm-mm.
Mhm. It was
You
a
got to
Capital
go.
One credit card. And they call, like you said, one day, and your interest, they tack on a lot of interest. I
Mhm.
rearranged my how I was gonna do it right then. Oh, you gone. I was just like you. You gone.
Yep. I was like, I'm done with you. Hmm.
Mhm.
And I
Yes.
told you how I did it. I was like, well, I should pay my light bill. I said I should. Emphasis on should.
Should. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But we is gonna pay this
I
bill
said,
off.
but we're going to pay this off so I can get rid of this monkey on my back.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say
Yeah.
deviate from that. And that's what I did. I deviated from the starting with the highest interest one. Because
Hmm.
that's what I was doing. I think I was maybe 3 or 4 months, in. And I think I don't know if I had wrote the date down wrong or just had it wrong in my mind or what. And like I said, got that phone call.
Hmm.
Okay. We finna switch this up. You got
Yeah.
to go.
I was like,
You got to go.
yeah. So I'm gonna give some encouragement. Y'all don't be like me. In my journey, don't blame me. This is only some advice. I ain't telling y'all don't pay your bills. What had happened was I got tired.
Yes.
I got tired. Come on, y'all. Now, y'all know about being tired. When you're
Yes.
tired and they're sick and tired.
Sick and
And
tired.
when they called me and woke me up, and I forgot to say, I used to work night shift. I just got in the bed, got comfortable, just have fell asleep. And then you woke me up. Oh,
Mhm. 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 I work night shift too, so I know
I was like, I know you did not wait. Did you wake me up?
for
I know
that.
you didn't wake me up. And I'm having a whole conversation. Did they just wake me up? Yes, they woke you up.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And sometimes that is the catalyst. Clark Howard. Thank you, Paula. Clark Howard. Yes. Is he
Mhm.
still on the radio? Put that in the chat. Yes, he is excellent. He was a another inspiration. Like I said, I was happen to be listening to him that day when I can't even remember what it was that happened. I got into it with one of my coworkers. Uh I think it was the boss's son.
Uh-oh. Mm.
Child, I'm telling you. I was in the car. I was down the road. I was just about to turn onto the freeway to the expressway. And I thought about it. I said, wait a minute, hold up.
I'm gonna need
I
you to
did
get
a
back
U-turn. I did a U-turn at the light.
and make a Yui.
Had to
Get on
make a
back to work.
U-turn, instead of making that left to get on, because you had to turn left to get onto the expressway instead of turning left. I'm sure the car behind me, like, what's she doing? I got to go back. I need this job, okay, to get this off.
Well, that's for me. I'm telling y'all my business, but
I
um,
learned.
that's the reason why I switched to night shift because I said I need to get away from all them executives and higher up people so I can be able to slack off a little bit.
Hey,
That's what it was because I was like,
yeah,
I see you doing a lot of micromanaging. Mm-mm.
yeah, it,
It's a little bit too much micromanaging in the daytime. I said I'm gonna be what like the bats.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. That had kind of when I
Yeah.
said the earlier when I said the environment at work was changing. Yeah, some of that was starting to happen, and I'm like, no, mm-mm. This, mm-mm, no.
No, this ain't going. I said, no, this ain't
But
gonna work.
baby, if I had been, woo, if I had been, if I had been just close, like where you are now, shoot, I'd have been making that left would have been continued on to the expressway. I kept going. That's the only reason I turned back because
Listen,
I had just started, just started the debt free journey.
hmm I'll tell you what was irritating me is I was living right across the street from my job. Do you know how irritating that is? Every time I look out my window, I can see my job.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's high. I said, you know what? I said I'm gonna have to become a bat, and because I don't want to see my job every day. I said, yeah. Yeah, because all these people talk about was this file done? Was this done? And everybody by the water cooler gossiping, and I'm doing my work. I was like, "What are you worried about me? Go be by the water cooler. Do you see them?" I said, "This ain't gonna work.
Yes, yes.
This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work." Uh, I had to get off of the radar. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I can't do the prison life. I said the way I'm set up, I said I know myself. I'm way too bougie. I said I like nice, pretty things, and they don't have nice, pretty things in prison.
No, they don't.
I said I like my jewelry and my lipstick. You can't have that in the pen.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Well, y'all can see I am not, even though I can dress up to the nines. But as y'all can see, I'm not bougie.
Yeah,
However,
you not bougie, but
I'm not bougie, but
mhm.
I like being able to get up and go whenever I want to or
Mm,
not. And frequently
mm.
is not. Okay.
Yes,
Frequently is not.
especially if I get an attitude. Like I said, hey, I'm feeling a little sick. I
Mhm.
think I'm coming down with the sickness from this job.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So it's worth it. Like I said, I sacrificed a lot. I didn't see when I did go back to bowling, my buddies was like, Dang, we thought something well, of course my husband was still going, so they saw him. Um,
Mhm.
So they knew I was okay, via him. But if we weren't together, we had got no, we hadn't gotten
Yes.
married at that time. No, we hadn't gotten married yet. But of course, they would still see, was seeing him, so they knew I was okay. But if we had to been together, honey, shoot, they probably would have sent the search party after me because it was 2.5 years before I had even set foot back in Abilene Alley.
Wow. That's
I was
something.
determined. I said, when I say everything, anything extra, everything
You got
went.
to everything.
Everything,
Airy.
everything went. Absolutely
Cut down to the
everything
bone.
to the
Hmm.
bone. Like with and thank you, Paula, because that worked as far as turning down stuff down to the refrigerator. You know, um,
Hmm.
shoot.
Listen.
Told hubby shoot. And he
Yeah.
said he cold nature. I said, baby, you better go buy you some sweaters and stuff. Cause we not finna have that heat. But I remember one time I got, I had just got home. I had checked the mail and my bill had came. Gas
Hmm.
bill had came. That bad boy was $200.
Ooh.
I about passed out at the mailbox, right? I walk in the house. It's hot as I don't know what he coming out without no shirt on. What wrong with you? I'm telling you, that's how serious I was. I was like, what the heck? Oh man, I'm trying to keep it clean. What the heck wrong with
I'm gonna tell you how bad I was. Listen to this one. How bad I was. I was showing off. I turned up the heat and had a bathing suit on. Hmm.
you?
Hmm. Walking around in the bathing suit because I didn't want to put no
Child,
clothes on.
child. What I
And
used to
no, I
kind of
did it
do.
until I got that bill. Then when I
Yeah.
saw a $375 light bill, I said, oh, I got some nice little sweaters in my suitcase.
Sweaters,
Didn't
stuff.
want to put them on. Put them on.
Hey, I was willing to cut whatever I could because I was like, second job is
Everything.
not that's not an option. It's absolutely I don't want to do this one job. So, second job is just it's not even on the table. It ain't even not even on the table. It ain't even on the radar. It ain't even in the stratosphere. Okay.
I
Don't
know.
even bring that
Listen,
up because
exactly.
it's not happening. So that means
That's
we got to find money somewhere.
that's what well, I don't know. I must have been crazy or what. I don't know what I was going through, but I went and got myself a second job. And I said, when I found out how hard it was, I said, we only gonna be able to do this about 90 days. And no, I was serious. I knew it. You got to
I
know
know.
yourself. What they said, know thyself.
Know thyself.
And I said, I'm only gonna get past this probation period, and I'm gonna be gone.
See, that was my other reason too, that a second job wasn't on the radar because like I said, things were changing.
Hmm.
It was my job was getting even more stressful. And I just couldn't bear the thought of leaving that stress to have to go on to another job. See,
Yeah,
shit, I
you
probably would
got
have
to
got
deal with
fired in
your
3 days.
drama, and then go to another drama. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I
So
found
that's
out that, I
mhm,
was like, oh no, this is not going to work.
mm-mm.
But that 90 days really helped me a lot because that's how I was able to pay off two debts in 90 days.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome.
But I'm telling you, you get real bitter when you're not getting your sleep. My family was like, you, I turned into a wild animal, like they call what?
I
I'm tired. Leave me alone. Call back in 90 days. What do you want?
I'm laughing because I am the same way. My husband would tell you I am not a nice person when I had no sleep.
Yeah,
And I used to
I
do the
turned
same.
into what did they call that? They said I was
The whole core.
no, they told me I was a bear. Yeah, because you guys know how I am. I'm naturally a sweet person, and when they call, I just growl. What?
What?
What do you want? Why are you calling me?
I
And then I was like,
know.
oh, your personality is changing. That conversation you have with yourself, this ain't good. Yeah, this ain't gonna work. I need to go back to the original Marlene. Mm-mm.
Yep, that
Yeah,
too. Hardly no sleep, and there's cost involved with. That's always the solution is earn more money, but there's cost
yeah,
in that.
yeah. My sanity, my
Yeah, and
sanity
your
was
health is the
involved.
biggest
Yeah.
one. It's a huge one.
Well, like I said, that job only lasted me 90 days, and they telling me, oh, in 120 days, and I'm looking at her like, I will not be here.
Bipolar.
Bye, Paula. Thank you so much
Yes,
for coming.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, but you gotta, that's why I say it's important for you to know yourself. You gotta
Mhm.
know what your limit is. And for me, I had to sacrifice, I'm sorry I had to sacrifice my family to the wolves, but those 90 days helped me to get rid of those two debts. And it freed me up. I think paying off those two debts freed me from paying a bill for 5 years.
Yes.
And to me, that sounds like it's crazy, but I was like, how could 5 years? I added 5 years onto my life by 90 days.
Yeah, because of
That
the
was crazy to
interest.
me.
Because of the interest. And see, that's the other thing that I definitely want to mention here, and I will be mentioning, repeating
Hmm.
that we get hung up on this payment. It's only this. The payment is only this,
Hmm.
but that payment amount is actually two,
Interest.
three, four times that over the lifetime,
Yeah.
especially if you stretch it out.
Especially for me, I when I looked at my bill, the one that I have left, because I only have one more debt left, guys, in my debt-free journey. When I looked at that bill, okay, I started off with my debt being 13,500. It's been 2 years. I've only paid like $500 on it. I was like,
Yes, most loans
and I was
even.
like, what?
Mhm.
But I've been paying you $200 a month for 2 years, and I haven't even made a dent in it. I was like, no,
Yes.
you get. I said, I'm going to have to start putting something in this principle to get rid of it.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of things too that, people, are and sadly, a lot of our older generation as well are still under the impression that most loans accept, and maybe not even accept. I think a lot of them are under the impression also that loans are simple interest.
Mhm.
No, they've been
No, they're
stopped
not.
that many, many, many years ago. A lot of loans, maybe not to the exact degree of a mortgage, but most loans are now front-ended, just like a loan is. The interest is
Yeah,
at the front part of the loan.
yeah. Because my loan is a $12,500 loan. When I pay it off, I would wind up paying $70,000.
Yep,
When I
yep.
thought about it, I was like $70,000 from 12,000. I was like, you just almost like in certain places, not everywhere, but in certain places, you just bought. You could have bought another home.
Definitely here. Where I
Yeah.
yeah. That's 2 houses.
I was like,
Yeah,
what?
that's 2 houses. Maybe not now, but when I bought my house, yeah, that was definitely,
No,
yeah, it was
certain
2
places you
houses.
still can. If you
That was 2
search,
houses.
yeah, if you search, you could that could be one house somewhere, a
Mhm.
vacation house. I was like,
Maybe 2.
I was
And
like,
it's
I'm
mhm.
not giving nobody no $60,000.
Yep,
Nah. So
absolutely. So yeah,
yeah,
that's the other, is to we have definitely got to get out of this payment. It's only that, and look at the entire cost of that.
right. Because
Yep.
we have to also understand that it's costing you. Not all the time it's financial, But when you're putting all that money, you're taking away from your health, time with your family, from your dreams, your aspirations, things that you want to do. So you can't think of the debt as just in terms of it's the debt. It's way more than
It's
that.
way
It's
more
way
than
more
that.
than that.
Way more than that.
Way more than that. So,
And yep, and just because, yeah, yeah, there's a good chance that you might not be here in five. Say it might take you 10 years to pay it off. Yeah, there's a good
mhm,
chance. There's absolutely a good chance that you might not be here.
right.
But there's also a good chance that you
You
will still
will.
be here.
Hmm. Yeah. And you got to think about it in terms of that, like your future. And I said that to me, I don't know. You never know how long you're going to live. But I said, but if I do live, I don't want it to be difficult for me. I said, I only want to be living to pay off just electric bill,
Hmm.
electric, water, and food, and maybe some gas and stuff, maybe a little bit of play money to buy some things I want. But you know
Right.
the more you get rid of the debt is the more you give yourself freedom to be able to have experiences, because when you have a debt you're not free to have an experience. You are enslaved and indebted to that job. As
Yeah,
long as you owe somebody, you must get up and go to that job. But
exactly.
I wanted to give myself the room because I know I got too much attitude, and
Hmm.
it's growing as I get older. The attitude is growing. I'm like, I don't like you. Like,
Oh,
don't
it
talk
is.
to me. Like,
It
I was
is.
like, this isn't gonna work much longer. I know that. I know myself. I was like, I only got about a good 5 years. I gotta,
Hmm.
I gotta save myself some money and get myself right. So,
And the same goes for if you have a business or want to start a business. You still, if you are carrying especially personal debt, your home, and because I said you
mhm,
got to have somewhere to live.
you must.
Um,
Hmm.
that's still your business is still going to be dictated by that debt because now you've got to make all this money to make sure that you pay that mortgage.
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's really no different than um, if you are working for somebody else. And actually, it might end up being worse, especially if you have employees, because now you've got somebody else's livelihood that is now dictated by,
Yes.
now you've got your business has got to, you know, do stuff to make all this money. Where if you weren't carrying all that debt, you were more flexible.
Exactly. And we like flexibility. We
Oh
like
yeah.
flexibility, freedom. That if you don't want to go, like, I ain't going into work today. Like, it's not going to work. And one
Mhm.
of the things that I recently just enjoyed, because I got rid of um 5 out of my 6 debts. Now I am a part-time employee. I ain't full-time no more. Like,
Yes.
I was like, see y'all on Wednesday. Every time I have to clear my throat, I will see you guys on Wednesday.
And make sure you say it loud. Say it loud.
And then tell you get on my nerves. Yeah,
Yes.
Monday and Tuesday, enjoy yourself. I'll see you Wednesday.
Yes. That was my goal as well.
Yeah,
If I did go back to work, it would be uh only part-time.
yeah.
I did not want to have to, well, let me reword that. I did not want to have to have a full-time job.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like the freedom of every Monday I can be in my pajamas. That's
Hmm.
encouraging me. Every Monday when I'm in bed and I'm smiling and thinking, I wonder how much papers is on, how much stack is on somebody else's desk. And I sit there and I smile, and that encourages me. I was like, time to hit the next day. I like it being in my robe and my pajamas. That's, to me, that's encouragement.
It
Hmm.
is. It should be. It
Yeah.
should be. I didn't have that opportunity while I was, going through it, but that was definitely, working part-time was the what kept me going, where I didn't have to, or even if, say, I made the decision, say things would have changed and I decided to stay where I was employed, but just
Mhm.
knowing that I didn't have to come in
Yeah.
here,
And,
if
the,
I,
and you also, your boss knows that too. Because they'd be like, when I put in I was like, yeah, I'm only gonna be here Wednesday to Fridays now. They
hmm
was like, they said, you don't need. I said, no. I said, I don't need to be here Mondays and Tuesdays anymore.
hmm
Mm. They treat you differently
they
because,
treat you different.
yeah, because now they know. I'm like, okay, if you tell me, you know, yeah, we don't need you Wednesday to Friday, I was like, okay, okay. Because
hmm
I learned when I found out, I was like, I could start living just if I work at McDonald's. I was like, yeah, she can live on McDonald's pay. You
hmm
know, I said, I'll be okay.
And
Have
I
me
do
work
that
part
now.
time. Mm-hmm.
I do that now. And
Yeah,
the monthly income that with my husband's uh money,
yeah,
it's very fixed, and that's two people.
yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
So that's why I know I can make it on a part time.
Yeah. And I told you what my goal is. Once I get this next one paid off next December, I'm gonna be going to 2 days. They're gonna be like,
hmm
"No, you only coming in Thursday and Friday." Be like, I can't wait to make my announcement. See you guys Thursday.
Don't put up the neon sign.
they
Closed
hate
till
they
Thursday.
hate when I say that. To oh, here she goes. She gonna make her. I said, see everybody Wednesday. Now I
Oh,
can when I can say that I'll see you Thursday, that means I get to be in the bed 3 days
3 days.
now.
Yes. You can come on live or and stay behind your avatar. Be
Yeah,
and be your
I'm like I
business.
could be in my pajamas. I could be on a live stream. It give you freedom to do what you want to now. So
Exactly. Oh, another encouragement I want to give really quickly.
okay.
Um, During the 2008, I don't know if some of y'all, especially y'all listening at the replay as well, remember when you was hearing, especially prior to the election, a lot of mass layoffs.
Mhm.
Well, my husband was caught up in that,
Oh,
and yeah, his company. Uh, 2 years, but no, about a year and a half or a year and some months. Uh, his company got bought out by one of the big corporations. And when he told me that, I said, I give it 2 years. They gonna shut y'all down. He was like, nah, that's okay. Okay.
how
About a
long
year or
was
so,
it?
about a year or so later, I don't
Oh,
remember exactly when they were bought by the big company, but it was about a little over a year, I think. It was 2008, right 2 weeks after the election. They had announced that there was going to be some major changes, and then in
mhm.
December is when we found out that they were going to shut the plant down.
Wow.
And see, like I told you, my husband is older. We were debt free.
Yeah.
No problem, no
See, now
worries.
what if you had listened to him and you didn't go forward?
Oh, baby. After that, he he changed his tune. Now he tries to tell his family members and everything,
You,
get
you know
out
what
of
you
debt,
should
get
do?
out
You
of
should
debt.
buy him a shirt and get it made and say debt free. Get him a debt free shirt. I'm gonna have you wear this because if it wasn't for Mhm.
Oh, he after that, when that happened,
Oh,
um,
singing a different song.
he was singing a diff I mean, and he
Mm.
would start talking to his family members and "Hey, get out of debt, get out of debt, get out of debt." I was looking at him for first,
You're like,
first time it happened, I was like, "Who are you?"
"Huh?
Yeah, "Is you the same one?" They
Do I
was like,
know you?
"What you doing there for?" You know?
Have we been introduced? Do I know you?
But yes, he is
Yes.
definitely
Mhm.
on board because a lot of our family members, because like I said, I wasn't working. I had stopped working in 2007.
Right.
So,
Wow.
they were wondering, and shoot, he was like, "We debt free.
Yeah, so we all right. Mm-hmm.
We all right."
Yeah, like I say that all the time. You gotta plan for the future. You can't think, and that's sometimes the hindrance you have when you're younger. You don't think of the life is going to change. You're going to get older. There's going to be health problems. There can be layoffs. So you gotta understand that. Okay, if and when things change, how am I going to be able to still function?
Mhm.
When I
Yeah.
started thinking that way, that was like, okay, I'm going to need to attack this debt.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. I wanted to be able to be, in control and you know,
yeah,
determine that, not because it's driven by my dad. And see, even, all of that too, it led to health getting better. And, because now you have the time you know,
right.
to do that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Hmm.
there's so many benefits to it, because as we can see, nothing as far as especially income, nothing is guaranteed. Even
Nothing.
whether you whether
Hmm.
you work whether you got your own business, whether you work for the federal government, government shut down anybody,
Yeah,
none of that
yeah,
is guaranteed.
right.
So
Susie said it right. Planning for the future is the key.
mhm.
Hmm.
But to
That's
me, it all hinges on getting rid of the debt, because even a lot of the other stuff is still, and this is something I definitely want to leave folks with, and I'm going to repeat it. Getting out of debt is a guaranteed return on your money. Anything else, all these other investments, that's not a guaranteed return.
yeah,
Even in the savings account, because shoot, the interest that you're paying out is less than what you're earning in the savings account. So
exactly.
paying off the debt is a guaranteed return on your money.
Hmm. Yeah.
So,
And what we didn't really get into, but it's something that can help you once you free up yourself from that debt. You have to also learn to still keep paying like you did not pay off that debt, and start stacking things for, in different portfolios for your
mhm.
future. That's
Yeah.
important as well, because just how you were able to pay that, don't give up that momentum for, that amount of money that you had, but learn now what are you going to do with this money.
Hmm.
Don't start wasting it.
Yeah.
That's another thing that I had to learn too, because I was like, ooh, I got me $200 of play money.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or determine,
Yeah.
really sit down and determine, because, investments might not be for everyone.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily like going down that particular route.
Okay.
Um, as far as that type of investment, it's
Hmm.
a different type of investment in my eyes. But getting rid of that debt, and hopefully changing your, hopefully the hard work of having to get rid of that debt will make you, will set that in your mind. Like, if you see this, this really fly car, this
Hmm.
Lexus or this BMW, and they give you that price, and dang, do I really want to go into debt for that? Do
Hmm.
I really want to have to work hard, after you done took all this time to work hard
Right.
to get rid of that? Do I really want to go through that again?
Makes you think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How you want to spend your time?
Yeah. Is that worth all the amount of stress and aggravation? Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I think that's an important conversation to have. Not all the time most people were not raised with having money strategies, money awareness, knowing what you should do with your money, knowing about credit, knowing about, debt to income ratio, all of those
Hmm.
things. That's something that you got to do your own research and find out those type of things, and find out what is good for you, what's
Mhm.
best and works for you. But it's important, the older that you get, none of us are getting younger, none of us. So you gotta think now, what's going to happen if and when I can't work anymore, or if and when they cut off my employment, how am I going to carry on? And that should be your motivation. Now what am I going to do about it? While you have the opportunity, because you don't want to be like dropped into your employment is cut off and now you got all these bills. Yeah, you don't want to be in that
Exactly.
boat.
Exactly. And
Mhm.
especially nowadays, whether you're in a right to work state or not, that can happen.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody, unfortunately. So I just wanted to thank you for having the conversation.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and thank you to everybody who came in the chat. This was wonderful. Those who came into the live stream and those who watch on the replay. Also, I'm going to link in the comment section your the one that where I came on your panel. We had a conversation as well. I'm
Okay.
going to link
Okay.
that. So I think it's important for us to have conversations not only about debt, but about credit, finances, all of it.
Yeah.
Awareness is very important. And especially when it comes to awareness of people of a certain skin tone, I think that's even more important. Don't get your knowledge about what you should do from other people, or don't let society define what you should do, but you got to take your life into control, and that means understanding, knowledge, and action.
Agreed.
Yes. So I thank you so much for being here, Miss Bull Roller.
Thank you.
Yes,
And I will
it
make
was
sure to link this once it posts. Um,
okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the discussion, and thanks to everybody in the chat and everybody who watched the replay. We appreciate you guys so much. And make sure you head over to Miss Full Roller Sarah's channel if you have not already. Thank you guys. Bye, guys.